ladies and gentlemen, British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, please welcome to the ring the challenger from London, Audley, A-Force
The reaction of the crowd, as might have been anticipated, less than ecstatic. Here it comes. He said he's fighting for redemption. He's been making the right noises. He looks in shape. We've seen it so many times before. Will tonight be the night when Audley Harrison really fights? He was profoundly ashamed, I think, of his performance against David Hay. And he says that win, lose or draw, he'll go out of here with his head held high. It's a hostile reaction from the crowd.
It's loud, it's electric, you know, they're really jeering Audley, singing the songs to him already. It's before he's even set foot in the ring. It's how he mentally reacts to this and how he reacts when the bell goes. That's the most important part of this fight for me, is how Audley turns up.
It's been a long journey, he always calls it that, but it's been a frustrating one as well. Into the Rocky music, is he going to produce a Rocky performance?
He's got to. He's got to try his best to do so, and he's got to go out on a shield. Win, lose or draw, he's saying he's going to go out there happy, man. He's got to go out on a shield, win, lose or draw.
cheering him to the rafters. The whole crowd seems to be on its feet, cheering David Price to the ring. Biggest test of his career, it could be. All 6'8" of him. The British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, David Price. Surely the biggest reception he's ever had by a country mile.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Echo Arena, Liverpool. And at this time, a very warm welcome to you, the viewers. Joining us live and exclusive for the best seat in the house. We're live on Box Nation, the home of boxing. Frank Maloney Promotions is very proud to bring you 12 rounds of boxing to decide the heavyweight championship of Great Britain and the Commonwealth. Our sponsors are Southern Metals, London's #1 for scrap metal recycling, Westminster Waste, Lonsdale and Loadings. All our officials ringside appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Our steward in charge, Mr. Jeff Bolter, Commonwealth representative, Mr. Robert Smith. Our 3 scoring judges are from All Hallows, Kent, Mr. Richie Davis. From Preston, Mr. Phil Edwards, and from Fleetwood, Mr. Steve Gray. And Inspector Steve Vaness and Barry Coulson. Timekeeper from Warrington, Andrew East. And when the bell rings, referee in charge from Mar, Doncaster, Mr. Howard Foster. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in attendance here at ringside, the officials are ready. The boxers are ready! Are you ready for the main event? Between and introducing the challenger, once again over the ring corner, wearing black shorts with whites, official weight 17 stone and 7 pounds. Brings to the ring with a 53-fight record, 28 wins, 21 inside the distance, only 5 defeats. At the 2000 Sydney Olympics, he became the first British boxer to win super heavyweight gold. As a professional, he is the former undefeated heavyweight champion of Europe and world title challenger. From London, Audley, Harrison. And across the ring stands the champion. Focusing up on the blue corner, winning red with gold, weighing in at 17 stone 9 pounds, bringing to the ring a perfect professional record, 13 wins from 13 contests, 11 inside the scheduled distance. After winning gold in the 2006 Commonwealth Games, he struggled super heavyweight bronze in the 2008 Beijing Olympics. And he makes the first defence. He is the reigning heavyweight champion of Great Britain and the Commonwealth. From Liverpool, the undefeated David Price.
Games of the golfing dressing room, you both I expect. Keep it clean, bring straight away in tow, not watch it in, and once you're gone, just look. Follow that.
Referee dwarfed by these 2 huge men. And what an atmosphere! What an atmosphere!
Electric, John, electric, really roof-raising, and that rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone, you'll swear you were at Anfield listening to that.
David Price, the man with the big right hand. Audley Harrison, as we've said, the southpaw, nearing his 41st birthday, fighting for some sort of boxing redemption. Just 1 win since that awful night against David Hay for Audley Harrison. Is David Price for real? Well, most people think he is. If Harrison can produce something of his best, then it might tell us a bit more about Price. Nothing landed in this first 40 seconds or so. At last, a jab from Price did just get through, a glancing blow.
The jab against the tall southpaw is a difficult shot to land as well, especially one who's going to try and counter you with a straight left hand coming back. It's hard, that's why there's a lot. Oh, nice shot.
Left hand, and now he wants to go to work on Harrison. In the opening round, the gum shield almost came out with that left hook. Oh, great shot. Terrific uppercut. And a tremendous right hand.
He's gone.
Harrison's out. He's out. He's out. The fight is all over. Devastating punching power from Price. Harrison's still down. Price celebrates, and Harrison is still poleaxed. He doesn't know what's happened.
That was a nice right hand. Audley was gone. I thought the referee, you know, I think he was trying to step in, but Price was just too on it, too sharp, too fast. Big right hand following it up. Audley didn't know where he was. Devastating punch power.
Well, he can most certainly hit. He really can. Harrison wasn't able to land anything. Price, once he cut loose, just destroyed him. And that, one suspects, will be the last we see as a fighter of Audley Harrison. He's now being helped up.
I think they need to keep him down, John. He's really badly hurt. I think they need to just keep him down. There's a big cut opened up on his forehead. That's where the blood's coming from. His nose seems to be gone as well. You know, you don't want to let him stand up in this condition. Leave him down, get the oxygen on him.
Well, he's being put on a stool. David Price did what he had to do. And what we do know is that when Price gets an opportunity, my goodness, he can hit. Harrison now is seated on a stool. A few boos and jeers from the crowd, which is unfair because he's got blood streaming from wounds on his face. And Price is punching him there. Okay, nothing came back, but it was devastating.
Frightening, really frightening punching power from David Price, and that's what you've got to expect of fellas 17.5, 18 stone, but fellas in the lean condition of David Price. Look at Price's leg. There's not a pick of fat on his leg. The muscle definition in his quads alone in the weigh-in yesterday is frightening. He's a unit. He's a big man, and someone with that speed and accuracy and punch technique hitting you, it's a different kettle of fish. It's not like the average man in the street.
Matt Skelton sitting at ringside. They talked about him getting in against David Price. It'll be interesting to know what he thought about that, because would you want to be on the receiving end of that sort of power? I think even the Klitschko's would have a look at that and think, well, we know he can hit.
I wouldn't want to take a shot like that for a big club, honestly. Just the power of Price is frightening, and he finished it well as well. The finish was good. It wasn't too rushed. It was a very clinical finish, and he got him out there and did what he had to do.
Well, he's getting a phenomenal level of acclaim from this partisan Liverpool crowd. They love him here, and this bandwagon will only grow and grow. It's going to be an exciting ride.
It is, it certainly is, and it's Pricey said himself when he was asked about 6 or 8 months ago, you know, what do you think of you for the Klitschko's, and he said himself then, I'm 18 months away from that, but that was 8 months ago roughly. It was 10 months ago, and I firmly believe that he'll be ready. When he takes a shot, he won't only take the shot, he'll take it and he'll keep it, and he'll be able to defend whatever titles he takes from one of the Klitschko's, because I'd put him in any one of them now.
Derek Chisora, he would be another one in the mix, assuming he gets his licence back at some stage. That's surely going to happen before too long. Could be a better option than Matt Skelton, I don't know. Either way, those are two potentially interesting domestic fights, but it's not going to be long before David Price moves onwards and upwards. You can think about the European champion Kubrat Pulev, he'd be one, he'd possibly be an option, and of course the big two who are still there. But what a spectacular win from David Price. Harrison, I'm happy to say, has regained his senses. His gloves are being taken off inside the ring, and he's still seated on a stool, but he looks as though he's okay.
That's good news. That's very good news.